We have Israel's attacks on South Lebanon. And at least according to my latest figures, I could be out of date on this one, we've had 5 UN soldiers injured in Israeli attacks. I would suspect that the high command in Israel has basically told their troops, Hezbollah's there, shoot Hezbollah, and if UN troops happen to be in the way, so be it. Israel also wants to see the back of the UN from this part of Lebanon, so it can get on with the job, so there are no eyewitnesses to what it intends to do. In the same way that it's got rid of the press from Gaza, it doesn't want prying noses into its crimes there. What are its aims? The stated claim is that what they're aiming to do is push Hezbollah 20 miles north. This will save Israel's citizens in the north of Israel from suffering attacks by Hezbollah rockets and missiles. I think that has to be nonsense. The idea that you push them back 20 miles and they can't shoot from 30 miles, this is nonsense. And clearly the Israeli armed forces know that perfectly well. So this isn't about protecting their citizens in the north of Israel. If you wanted to do that, you'd have to come to either an explicit or implicit agreement for a ceasefire with Hezbollah. They clearly don't want to do that. They want to pursue war in order to do what my guess would be in order to clear the Muslim population from southern Lebanon. My guess would be that what they're aiming to do is actually change the political map of Lebanon. Lebanon was the creation, as you know, of the division of the Ottoman Empire. It was designed by the French to be under the domination of Christians. This was their excuse for looking after Lebanon, hiving it off from Syria. It was in the province of Syria, along with Palestine, which was going to be the British home, the British little Ulster for the Jewish population that was either there or was going to colonize that part of the Middle East. And now it seems that Israel wants to return it to being some sort of Christian political entity, and that means getting rid of the Arabs, redrawing the constitution of Lebanon in a crisis situation. The state in Lebanon barely functions. Just look at its armed forces. They're not intervening. They're not capable of intervening in any decisive way, either against Hezbollah, but nor against the Israeli army. They're not defending Israel they're not defending Lebanon against the Israeli invasion. We also have to look south. And again, the speculation is looking at what's going on in Gaza, the instructions to clear, what is it, Area D5 of the civilian population. This is putting to operation the general's plan, which basically can be summed up as get out or starve. And he claims that this is the way to meet Israel's objective to defeat Hamas and get back the hostages. Again, you just go, this can't be true. This is just nonsense. You ain't going to get back hostages, are you? But not only will Hamas fighters get killed, but so, of course, will the hostages get killed. Nor, of course, will it eliminate Hamas. Hamas doesn't just consist of fighters who've buried themselves in tunnels in North Gaza. It's a popular movement. It's a political movement. It's implanted in the midst of the Palestinian masses, both in Gaza and on the West Bank, and of course in refugee camps outside Palestine. Will have support in Jordan. They'll also have support in other parts of the Arab world. So the plan, at least explicitly expressed some members of Netanyahu's cabinet to recolonize at least the northern part of Gaza with Jewish settlers. The reason why they leave the south is because they are waiting to push that population of 2.5 million people over the border into Egypt, into the Sinai, or leave them to starve. In other words, it's get out or it's genocide. We should expect a similar program to be put in operation when the moment is ripe on the West Bank. It's already, what, 700,000 Israeli Jewish settlers on the West Bank. Israel has obviously formally annexed Syria's Golan Heights. That was something they captured in 1967. They've also annexed East Jerusalem. Other strategic aims is to annex the whole of the West Bank. And if they do that out of necessity, they've got to get rid of the Palestinian population, because if you're annexing it, what do? Either have two classes of citizens, one who can vote, the other who can't vote. Is that sustainable? I don't think so. But get rid of the Palestinian population from the West Bank, maybe even get rid of the Arab population from Israel proper, the pre-67 borders of Israel. That is the real war aims of Zionism. And I'm saying Zionism advisedly, because this isn't simply something you can put down to Netanyahu and what are called the parties of the extreme right. This is the program of Labour Zionism. It goes back to the origins of Israel in 1948 and all the way back to the idea of Herzl and a colonial settler state that he outlined in his book, The Jewish State.